Hello, we're going straight to the Ghana Stock Exchange to talk to Esther Adu about the performance of the equities on the second day of trading in this week. Esther, you're welcome.
Thank you, Edward. And it's a second day of trading, as you said, and in as much as we all want to get to the positive 0%, we seem to be on a pendulum where the composite index goes up by a small margin one day, and the next day it loses by a very huge margin. And today it went up by 15.42 points. We have the financial stocks also going down by 13.05 points. The year-to-date change is now negative 1.81%. For trading today, the shares that exchange hands were a little over 2,948,917, and they were valued a little about 3.9 million Ghana cedis. The market cap has also gone up by 63.9 billion cedis. In terms of equities that registered price changes, we have one from the manufacturing sector, the telecom sector, and also the financial sector. And in terms of the financial sector, we had ETI going up by a peswa. It started trading at 0.16 pesos and it ended the day at 0.17 pesos. We have GGBL from the manufacturing sector. It also gained 3 pesos. It started at 2.22 pesos and it ended the day at 2.25 pesos. There's a change here, but it's MTN Ghana. It sold the most for today. It sold a little over 1.3 shares, and started the day, it lost 2 pesos. So it started the day at 1.08 pesos and it ended the day at 1.06 pesos. So it lost 2 pesos. Other equities that exchange hands, we have Access at they sold 492 shares. We have Bob 40 shares, Aluwex 150 shares, Carl 507,000 shares, a little over that, and we have EGH 18,500, EGL 301,347. We have ETI at 376,729, and GGBL from the manufacturing sector, as I said, 308. No, is 386,840, and that's MTN Ghana. Yeah, that's all 1.3. Yes, and I think a little other shares that SIC has, SIC, they were very small amounts. So that's about it for the subtotal of 2.9. Thereabout shares. All right.
Thank you very much, Esther Edu, for the update from the Ghana Stock Exchange. We're going for a short break. Today, as I said, we're going to, on the SME narrative, we have Mansa Gold Chocolate on the bill. We'll be right back. Hello, welcome back to Market Avenue. With me this evening on SME Narrative is Preba Aka. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Great. Preba, it's amazing COVID killed a lot of companies. Yes. But whilst others were dying, you were born. Mansa Gold was born.
Indeed.
What exactly led to the birthing of Mansa Gold?
Okay. Well, I think what you have to understand is that Mansa Gold was actually was being born for a long time before COVID.
Wow.
And when COVID happened, I had to make a decision as to whether to go ahead with the birth or to effectively have a stillbirth. and that could have had disastrous consequences, because I realized that I probably would never get off the ground if I didn't just do it. So Mansa Gold was in production, I would say, for a long time. For about 5 years beforehand is when I first had the first idea for Mansa Gold. I spent many years working for a fast-moving consumer goods company, which you actually mentioned this evening, but I shall not mention the name. And when I left them, I wanted to utilize all the information and knowledge I had learned about how to create a brand, sustain a brand, everything I knew about supply, distribution, marketing, you know, and sales, and then just really try and create a brand. And I looked around to see what was possible. And of course, I know that there's been this encouragement around what we can do around our cocoa. I also happen to be a dedicated chocolate lover.
Wow.
I must admit, if you want to please me, you bring chocolate to my house. So with that, it wasn't difficult for me to say I wanted to create a brand that really, as you said in your introduction, creates the best of Ghana with Ghana's cocoa, which has the reputation of being amongst the best in the world, a real chocolatey taste, you know, with real flavors, to bring that to the fore and create a real brand that can, you know, that could be in competition with anything that the world has to offer, you know, world over. Yes.
Great. So we had a lot of produce or raw materials there. Why the focus on chocolate?
Okay.
You said you love chocolate.
I love chocolate.
And how long did you take it to learn the art, the craft?
You see, I always say the first thing about it is that chocolate essentially is cooking. Making chocolate is cooking.
Okay.
So effectively, ever since I started to cook, I have been in training. Okay. To actually learn how to make chocolate didn't actually take that long, but to perfect it takes a long time. It's also trial and error. Sometimes your chocolate doesn't come out right, and you don't know why. You have to try and work out why it has happened that way. So you utilize the knowledge that you have, the specific knowledge you have around chocolate, but everything also you know about cooking. You know, the alchemy of applying heat to anything and how it reacts, you know, and then the various different additives that we put into it. You know, when I say additives, I mean natural additives in terms of the, you know, either the nuts or the mint or the whatever else we add to it. You know, thinking about how they react to what you're doing and how they will react to the chocolate. So that comes with experience.
Wow. Oh, wow. It's amazing. You describe your company as not being to bar, but a bar to tree.
Tree to bar.
Tree to bar.
Tree to bar, yes.
What exactly do you mean by that?
So it's because of the unique relationship I have with the farmers. Okay, so of course you know that there are policy issues around cocoa, yes. But I developed a relationship with the farmers which enables them, they give me the beans and I return value to them that way. So it's not a outright sale and purchase, as you know that there are issues around that. But because of that relationship I have with the farmers, I have very often the farmers coming into the factory. We have a small factory. When farmers come into the factory, they understand the process of what they're doing. For a lot of the farmers, it's the first time they've tasted a roasted bean. It's the first time they've tasted chocolate made from their own produce. Exactly. And then when they taste it, they're able to understand that, oh, and then compare it to other beans and say, actually, yes, I can taste the difference. So then we sit down, we talk about their farming practices. What did they do in farming to enable it to get that flavor? Is it something to do just with the soil? We found that some beans, for instance, may be grown in the central region closer to the sea. Some of the bean, there's an aspect of it called the germ. The germ is very salty. You know, so depending on where the bean comes from, you actually do taste different flavor profiles. So the farmers are able to utilize what they learn when they come and actually taste their chocolate themselves to help to actually then go back and in their farming practices produce a better chocolate. Not just in the growing of it, but also in how they ferment it and how they dry it. You know, it helps them also appreciate that.
I love the part of the fermenting because I've been there before. Now, what exactly prompted you to make sure that the fermenting process is up to scratch as you want it?
Yes. So I must admit, I like to say that I am not an expert when it comes to fermenting. Our farmers are fantastic. I don't think people give our Ghanaian farmers enough credit for how fantastic they are. They have so much knowledge about the product itself. You know, they've had years, passed it on through families. A lot of them have, the cocoa farms have been passed on, and they learn, you know, and they pass it on. So they are actually experts when it comes to fermentation and drying. And that's what makes Ghana being so fantastic. But yes, they do ferment it. So they ferment it very well. They know how to ferment. They know how to get make sure that all the beans are fermented equally. You know, and there are various different ways of doing it. The typical ways to do it is the heap method, of course, but then also you have the fermentation boxes, which some of the farmers are now adopting and using, because it gives you a better mix and make sure that the beans are more evenly fermented. So there's all that going on. But it's good for the farmers themselves can appreciate it when they come and they see it and they taste their bean. You know, it's amazing when you watch them taste their bean for the first time.
Yes, amazing. Born in 2020.
Yes.
How's the baby doing?
The baby is doing very well. You know, I say that with all these things, you've got to have a little patience, of course. You know, baby has to learn how to walk, okay? So in terms of production is not an issue. We have in fact, we are actually expanding production a little bit to ensure that we are able, not so much in terms of our volumes are fine, but in terms of our varieties, an expansion will enable us to produce our varieties faster, and we are in the process of doing that. But also it's about our sales and distribution network. It takes a while to grow that, you know, to find, because we are primarily a factory, and then we have distributors and retailers who sell on our behalf. So it takes a while to grow that, get retailers on board, you know, ensuring that you are returning enough value to them, of course, so that they are also dedicated to your product. And I dare say that also, if you were to taste the product, which I'm sure you will.
Let me try one and see.
Please go, try one and go. Yes.
Okay, that is Mansa Gold.
This is Mansa Gold.
Great.
And I'll tell you a little bit about the one you're about to taste.
This one?
Yes, so this one is made with 42%, sorry.
Cocoa,
pure 42%, yes, cocoa mass is in there.
And
that's it's a milk chocolate. And inside, that is white chocolate that has cashew in it.
Oh,
and the first one you picked up has granules in it. So it's what we call a peanut butter cup. It's like a granite. So go ahead and taste them.
Okay,
we try as much as possible to utilize local Ghanaian ingredients in our fillings. Of course, there are a few that we make that are not just with local, you know, we use a lot of Papa. I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Wow, that's good.
Yes.
Now, your product line.
Yes.
I've seen names like Mankasim,
Simpa.
Yes. Let's see. And it amazes me,
Mampong, yes. Cabo Corso.
Yes. Is that Cape Verde?
That's Cape Coast.
Cape Coast.
That's right.
Oh, so when they came there, Portuguese.
The Portuguese, sorry.
Cabo Corso.
Yes.
Then
Simpa. You know where Simpa is, I'm sure.
Then
Bono, yes.
Wow. What motivated you to come up with these
names?
local names?
I wanted names that I felt were representative of our cocoa growing areas or aspects of the chocolate that is being made. So, for instance, Simpa, which represents Winneba, which is where I come from, within, you know, Senya Briku and Winneba. This is made from coconut milk powder, and actually that's this one here.
So there are a lot of coconut in Simpa. So you decided
of course, by the coast.
Wow.
I named it Simpa just to reflect that. So the idea is also, because we know that this chocolate will travel, we want to put Ghana on the map. We want people to know. We want people to understand why, for instance, have we named it Mampong. So Mampong, as you know, is in the eastern region, which is effectively where our cocoa started from. But also we also have Ashanti Mampong, which is it represents a huge cocoa growing area. So we want people to think about it not just as Ghana chocolate, but actually to get to know the various different areas where cocoa is made. And you know, so we have a few surprises up our
next time my hometown.
Your hometown, Kede.
Yes.
Do they have cocoa in Kede? They do, actually, because that's on the Volta, and we do have a bean that comes from the Volta and the Oti region. We have two regions.
Wow, Mampong.
Yes.
Great. So, so how long does it take to produce? To
make a bar.
A bar like this.
Yes. So it's interesting because it depends. The process itself is almost like a stop-start process. You know, you do certain things, you stop and you wait, and then you have other longer periods where you are doing something, and sometimes when the chocolate is just being worked on by itself. So I say the first, we start with roasting. Okay. So we get the beans fermented and dried. Okay. We sort. First of all, we sort to make sure that we're using only the best beans. Wow. If there are any beans that are too flat or too small, we actually do take them out, because they will not roast evenly, and then that will make your chocolate bitter, or it will make your chocolate taste not intense. You notice we have a very intense chocolate taste. It's because we are using it's the purest of the cocoa that you are getting in there, not the husk or anything. You just get the cocoa. So we sort, we take out anything that needs to be taken out, any debris, anything that might have found its way in it, and then we roast. And then once we roast, we winnow, that's remove the husk off the bean, and then we grind the beans. And then once we grind it, we get what is known as cocoa mass, which I didn't think of bringing some today. I probably should have, you know. So we get the cocoa mass, and then we store the mass. We store the mass for a minimum of 3 weeks. Wow. To allow the flavor to develop, but also to allow the acidity to level down. And it depending on how you store it and what you do, you can influence the taste of your chocolate. So once we've done that, when we are ready, then we make the chocolate. We make the chocolate, we add in milk and milk powder. All chocolate is made with milk powder, but we use specialized confectionery milk powder for this. And then once we get that, we conch it. Once the chocolate is made, we conch it. Now, conching is just a process of refining the chocolate, making it silkier and smoother, making it more appealing to the mouth. You know, the mouth feel. You know, chocolate, you talk about chocolate as being silky, velvety, and making you hungry. I'm sorry. Or other people hungry. And that's what we do. But we conch for a minimum of 48 hours.
I like this design. Wow,
Yes.
that's real cool. That's chocolate.
That's chocolate. It's made from chocolate. Yes.
That's beautiful.
Yes. So it's one of the products that we do.
So marketing.
Marketing.
Social media based, or you have a brick and mortar space you operate from as well?
We do have a brick and mortar space that we operate from. In terms of marketing, we, of course, social media is such a huge item now. So we do have a social media presence. Am I allowed to mention it?
Oh, yes, you're allowed.
Okay, so you can check us out on Instagram at mansa.gold, and then also on the internet, on the web, as www, I think it's mansa.gold. Yes, it's mansa.gold. So you can find us on the web, and then you can also find us on Instagram.
Have you been able to do some export, or just for now be locally based?
So for now, we are locally based, because our prime objective is to produce chocolate for Ghanaians, because we think Ghanaians deserve good chocolate. You know, like me, I like good chocolate. we very much try to produce chocolate for Ghanaians, but we are looking at opportunities across the sub-region, and I'm always being asked about further afield. But then that carries with it a lot of issues in relation to ensuring that the registration process that you have, your export processes and things. And for a lot of that, for a small company, sometimes they can be overwhelming. Where the market here is not satisfied. You know, there's very little incentive for us to move out. But lately, we have started looking at Nigeria for a start. So we've just got an agent in Nigeria who's looking to develop the market for us in Nigeria, the same way we have developed here to get a number of retailers. But she's going through the process of doing the registrations in Nigeria and everything with NAFAC. That's right, with NAFAC. So once that's all done, then we will be able to move into Nigeria as well. So Nigeria will probably be the first market outside Ghana that we go to in a big way.
That's taking advantage of the AFCTA.
Well, you know, I guess in a way, you know, as with my experience at my previous yes, my previous space, I had some experience with the ETLS, which was effectively the precursor to AFTA.
ECOWAS,
the ECOWAS Free Trade Liberalization Scheme, right? So with that, you know, some of these things are a lot easier to say, you know. These things, they exist on paper. Actually actualizing them can be very difficult.
Wow.
So yes, although yes, we will definitely take advantage of that. You know, we know that it's not an easy thing. It's not an easy thing.
So how difficult is it for SME like yours to be able to weather the storm for the 2 years, even though COVID was so harsh?
Yeah, I must admit it's not easy. And I have had the advantage of being able to raise the finance myself. The biggest problem I would say for SMEs is as a startup raising finance. Okay, my real issue was that my product really relies on the machinery. You know, the machinery enables us to get the quality that we have. You know, without the machinery, you get a good chocolate, you get a very chocolatey taste, but maybe you won't get the refinement of the smoothness and the silkiness that you get with the machinery. So I was not able to start without the machinery, and yet I was told when I tried to get financing that you need to start for us to see what you can do. So it was almost a catch-22 situation. I was able in the end to raise the finance myself, and that has helped. I've been able to also, I had other employment at the time to effectively look after the baby, shall we say,
yes.
You know, look after the baby a little bit. So the baby was not under financial pressure for the first 1.5 to 2 years, you know. So it's enabled us to do a lot, and everything that enabled us to reinvest back into the business constantly, which is what we've done. So everything that the baby has made basically has gone back to looking after the baby, which is why I'm talking about our expansion plans right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this baby, how many hands have helped? And have been engaged
so far. And I would say, of course, there are seasons when we need more hands. So Christmas we were very, very busy and we needed more hands. But I think I would say we're about 6.
Fantastic.
Okay, no, some working part-time, some working full-time. We recently engaged 2 other part-timers as well. Yeah, so probably bringing us to 8, I guess, with the 2 other part. But they're not full-time; they are part-timers as well. Yes.
Look at the horizon.
Yes.
The next 5 years.
The next
Where
5
do you want
years.
to find
Where
Mansa
do we want to
Gold?
find Mansa Gold, Mampong? I'm hoping that within the next 5 years, Mansa Gold will be well known throughout Ghana and the sub-region. I also hope that it will turn the story around for people to understand that quality comes from here. You know,
I like that.
Yeah, the quality comes. That's, you know, it's not just, yes, we want the business to do well, but there's also a little bit of a mission there to let people know that yes, you can start something in Ghana. You can start something very successful. You need to be very aware of what you're doing. I know that I have an added advantage of having worked for many years with FMCG. I understand the FMCG business. So it's given me, I guess, an advantage in that I'm able to understand things like my margins and look at what sort of margin I should be working with and use that as a means of deciding whether or not to move along with any particular product or not, to understand what I need to give to the retailer and all that sort of thing. So that has really helped. But I think it's important that we help others, you know, to get the knowledge that they need. And if Mansa Gold can do that, then I'm very happy. And that's really what I'd like to see. So yes, a much bigger business, a business that is thriving within the sub-region, a business that has brought a little bit of fame to Ghana, you know, and a business that challenges worldwide. And has maybe won a few awards. We'll see.
Why the name Mansa Gold? Mansa Gold. There are several names you could have gone for.
Yeah.
Ama Gold.
Ama Gold. So Mansa Gold, Mansa has so many connotations. So of course the first is being that it's named for women. I'm a woman. I'm also a Mansa. But the main reasons why I named it Mansa rather than I could have chosen any other name, I wanted something that I felt captured our captured the essence of Ghana. That's what Mansa Gold is about. It's about capturing the essence of Ghana. And I feel that family captures us more than anything. Okay. So how we name, the importance of family to us, you know, the importance of our socialization with ourselves, I think is more important than anything. And I think how we name and the idea of our larger extended family network and how we look after each other comes through with a name. And that's why I chose Mansa, which represents the 3rd girl in the family. So you see, we have 3 cocoa pods in the icon. If you look on the icon here, you'll see the 3 cocoa pods. You see also the circularity, which represents the unity that I feel that we bring, that Ghana has. You know, we see each other as brothers and sisters. We are all we see it very much. We are all in it together, and that's what it represents. Also, Mansa Musa was the richest man who ever lived.
That was what came to my mind.
That's right. And I think that we are gaining back, we are claiming back some of our gold.
Yes.
Yes, he had a lot of gold we want to be, and we are showing that the gold really comes from our soil. It is our gold. The same way we are the gold of Ghana, you know, and that's why the name is Mansa Gold.
Packaging seems to be a major challenge for some Ghanaian SMEs, but you seem to have jumped a scale of that.
Yes, packaging is. All the design work is done here in Ghana. All the design work. We've got some fantastic designers. I must admit that the packaging does not come from Ghana at present. We do some of our logos and some of our marketing material. We do that not here in Ghana, but at present our major packaging is printed elsewhere. We are looking to work with local packagers as well. We have spoken to a few to see if we can get the same sort of quality, and then we definitely will be doing packaging here too.
Would you mind sharing a little bit about yourself? Because my guys are asking, the technical guys are asking, Mansa Gold, you talk about your former place. Where exactly is that?
So you want to know where I used to work?
Yes.
I'm very happy to say, because I feel they trained me. Okay, so I worked for 9 years with Guinness Ghana Breweries. I was on the executive team there, and I worked with Guinness Ghana here, and then at the Diageo, which was their parent company as well. And they provided excellent training in everything that you need to know in order to run an FMCG. So, you know, we have a lot of people walking around who've had the same sort of training. We need to encourage them. We need to give them financing. We need to give them the kind of support that they need to start up businesses themselves. And this is because, you know, it's from SMEs that businesses grow. You know, everyone started as an SME.
Yeah.
Even Bill Gates started in his
exactly,
garage as an SME. So it's SMEs that started up.
So one would wonder, why would you leave a big company
Like Guinness
and go on your own?
I've done other things since Guinness, but it's also because you know, you grow. You grow. I felt I had grown as much as I was going to there. I'd wanted to do something on my own. I'd also been abroad with Guinness. I'd worked for 3 years in the parent company in the UK. I came back home and worked here again, and then I decided it was time for me to step out on my own and do something.
You know, I had the privilege to be nominated by Diageo.
Really?
Among the journalists.
Oh, really?
Yes, so 2012, I had the privilege to be...
2012?
Doing the Olympics game. I was taken there by Diageo.
Oh, then we might have met.
Yes.
I don't remember.
With Anas, we had a
yes.
landmark hotel in the UK.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Oh, I remember.
Yes.
I remember when you all came in.
Yes, yes.
I remember I was there.
Yes, yes.
I was there.
Yes.
Yes. I came to the...
It's a small world, no?
It's a very small world.
Wow.
They had the chocolate fountain. I don't know if you remember. Do you remember it?
I do.
Yes, inspiration.
Wow, that's great. That's great. That's great. So, with regards to the Mansa and all the names, the other product line that you come, are you going to stick to the various like town names, or are you going to shift from town names to something else?
We shift from town names to other things, you know, depending on one of the other influences that we have is that we are very environmentally conscious, which is why, as you can see, our packaging is all paper. We try to get people to learn a bit more about Ghana. So the towns, obviously, people are going to look up about their towns. Also, each package is linked to a bird, right, that you will find in Ghana and you will find in the area that is linked to. We also like to... I've
seen that you're supporting wildlife.
We are supporting the Ghana Wildlife Society. Yes, we definitely want to... We are involved with them. I'm a keen bird watcher, and we want to utilize this as a means of getting Ghanaians to be more aware about the environment that they live in. So not just in terms of keeping it clean, of course, but understanding why you should keep it clean, understanding the nature and the wildlife around you, yes. And yes, the names, there are a few other names. If you go on the website, you'll see that our Christmas, what we call our festive box is called Afi, you know, which gives you that, yeah.
Wow. Thank you very much, Preba, for your time in the studio. It's a pleasure.
It is a pleasure.
Great.
Yes.
I've enjoyed the show today.
I hope you have. I hope that
I have, because the chocolate alone makes a difference. Let me bite one and then we wrap up.
Okay.
So this is how we wrap up today on Market Event. My name is Edward Nyako. My guest has been Preba Aka. Great to have you.
Thank you so much.
Shalom.
It's been fun.
We'll meet again tomorrow. Bye.